They do all that taxing, I still come up with them raps. They do all that cap that nobody ever attacked. I collect all of the bread, they go after all of the crumbs.
Oh, snap. How's everybody doing today? I'm Andy on Ask Your Brown Friend. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, thank you for being, stopping by, spending a few minutes with me. For those people that don't know, I'm going to just get everybody warmed up to the basics, I like to mention ethnicity based on my complexion, so I'm pretty brown. So when I talk about people, I usually, mention their ethnicity based off my complexion. But usually when I read my questions, I read them exactly as they are written to me. So with that being said, let everybody know what I do. I answer questions naturally, and also I explain about situations that I get myself into and how I get out of them. So I got a couple questions today that came off social media, and I would like to share them with you guys today. So let's just jump right in. All right, so if the N-word is used in a song, can I say it or should I censor myself? Ooh, that was a good one. And that person was off Twitter. Well, me personally, I don't really care. If somebody is repeating the exact same words that are said in some lyrics, to a song, they're repeating the lyrics to the song. I mean, they're not making the stuff up. But I would say, just to be safe, I'd say censor yourself, because it's all, because, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, the funniest censorship I've ever heard of somebody censoring themselves was my dude at one of my previous employers. That song, Gold Everything, came out, and he did not know that the name of the song was called Gold Everything. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's just like, yeah, I heard this new song, and I'm just like listening to him, and I'm like, yeah, he's like, I was feeling it, it was deep, I was like, what does it say, let me help you out, I'm brown, what I'm saying, I usually, I can pretty much help you out with anything, that's how I feel. And he goes, it was like, gold upon my watch, gold upon my, and he was like, and he looked at me, and he was like, it said, and I was like, beep, 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 what? And he was like, and then I was like, no, I don't. And he was just like, and he typed it on his phone like he was making a text message, and he like typed it and he held it up to me where I could read it, and he deleted that shit instantly as soon as I freaking read it. I started laughing. That was the best censorship I've ever seen in my life. And this dude was like an Arab brother, you know what I mean? So he was about as brown as me, a little bit lighter than me. But I was like, hey, you know what? Hey, I feel if you share the tan, you share the problems, you share the bullshit. So I feel that you should be able to say it. But just to stay safe, I'd censor yourself. Oh, here's one. Here, this is a good one. Oh, this one came off Facebook. This is a good question. And I could tell, and I ain't trying to be funny, I could tell a light-skinned person wrote this. Just listen to the question. Why do you talk differently when you're with your friends or family than when you do when you're at work? Well, that's interesting. Because technically, if we were all to use the colloquial jargon that we're using the technical aspect on a daily basis, some of the foregone thought that we were trying to get through would be a bit complex, don't you think? Bullshit. You know what? I talk the same everywhere I go. No matter what situation I'm in, I may choose some of my words more carefully in certain situations than I would do just, when I'm doing a YouTube video. When I'm doing a YouTube video, you guys, I say exactly what I'll need to say exactly when it comes to my mind. As opposed to being, in a meeting with a client, and, we're talking about, hey, Andy, what can you do for me? I'm telling you, I can provide these types of services, and so of course at that particular instance, people are going to use their best judgment, and I would think they would use their best wording to describe or display any situation. So I mean, I don't know if they're talking about some of the slang words that some brown people use when they're with their family versus when they're just around people in general that are not family, I guess. Hold on one second, you guys. That was the First Lady clicking in. say, I'm going to just tell her, hold on 1 second, and I'm going to get this last question read. Okay. Why, and this question came on Facebook too, why does the black community complain about racism so much? Slavery ended a long time ago. Well, you know what, you guys, I'm going to end on this one. Yes, slavery ended a long time ago, but as we can see, everybody thinks that racism is a joke. I don't think it's a joke. I think that it's very serious, and it happened, and it affects everybody, and most of us on our daily basis, you know, and it's unfair that others do not take this topic seriously. I mean, to me personally, I try to get past the bullshit and just, you know, get on to feel-good topics and, you know, happiness. But, you know, there are people out there that want to piss on the parade and fuck with people, you know, and those are the small brains, little-minded, as I like to say, unmotivated weirdos sitting in their basement, you know, hunched over some keyboard, you know, with the Twitter fingers, you know what I mean, saying weird shit about everybody's ethnicity or nationality because, you know, they're so big they probably couldn't figure out what part of their ethnicity or nationality they're looking at, or there's some probably skinny weirdo, you know, who just hates the world because, you know, mom and dad didn't hug this guy long enough, you know, it's, whatever. Don't get me started. I just feel that, you know what, if you were a victim of any type of oppression, you got the right to talk about it, whether it happened yesterday, last year, or a million years ago. You got the right to talk about it. Hey, that's how I feel. But I'm just one guy, right? Other than that, I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me. Remember, y'all, the air we breathe makes us all related. So suck it up and hate it, y'all. Y'all take care. I'm Andy on Ask Your Brown Friend. Don't forget, you know what I'm saying, to share my content, repost, and don't forget to tell a friend. Take care, y'all.